Continuing the action on a busy day, lots of good stuff so far. And the latest from Dundalk is this 7-furlong Crown Plaza handicap. Division 2 off it, and Chagall is the favourite 5-2. Only just. So George's Head easy to back, but the threes is gone. It's 11-4. And Emphatic 7-1 into 13-2. Chagall favourite as we head back to front.
Yeah, indeed, Alex, and Chagall is favourite, and in comparison to last race where we've seen Foreign Legion jump out from a wide draw and get across to sit second and duly win, there's a lot of pace on here in the race. You've got Chagall, who, as is his wont, jumps and usually forced to pace at 7 furlongs today's trip or a mile, and he's interesting dropping back down a furlong today based on what we've seen on his last few runs. Of course, he was quite unlucky here 4 or 5 starts ago when he hung his chance away, and that's something he tends to do under pressure here, down by the horse gate with half a furlong left to go.
10 seconds.
He tends to hang to his right a little bit, and that just tends to cost him a little bit, but back a furlong in trip should help that today, and he does come here in very good and
0
seconds. Form, he's not going to get things his own way on the front end because he's got St. George's Head and Emphatic here to keep him honest, and they two are two horses that like to force the pace. St. George's Head, only a 3-year-old, he got off the mark here recently 7 days ago in very good style. Prior to that, he'd been dropped in third or fourth position and just lacked the gears and ran on well to be third, a length behind Emphatic. But the first time Cheekpiece son and a very forceful ride when Declan McDonough took over last week, he was very, very good winner of the night. Now he's gone up eight or 9 pounds for that, but given his relatively unexposed nature, I'm not concerned about the new mark for him. I think that's very doable. The wide draw, maybe not so much. Stall 13, he'll have to get away as quickly as he did here last week, but he does remain of interest, and he seems to have found his niche for a stable that is going extremely good guns at the moment. Kieran Cotter stable is having a great time of things. Superb 2020. Did mention Emphatic, and this one is up £2 only for winning here at this track in good style. First win for him. He'd been consistent, if frustrating, I'd imagine, for connections, but he showed good resolution to beat Ishi Breeze here under rider Ross Coakley. And of course, Ross and trainer John Larkin are bidding for a double, having won our last race with Foreign Legion. And Emphatic does, perhaps the likes of Emphatic, when they get their head in front after a long time, it tends to give them a bit of confidence, and he might go on from that, but he kind of is a known quantity, whereas St. George's Head is probably open to a little bit more improvement despite that draw. One horse that has things set up perfectly for him today, potentially, is Dynamite. Of course, David Marnane trains. He's a 2-time winner, all at the lowest mark, 45. But this is an ideal setup for him. A good gallop to aim at. He's never been a beneficiary of good draws normally, but he's got a perfect draw in stall 1 today. 3 or 4 pacemakers in the race. He ran a good race here behind Jack Mel when he had a horrible draw in stall 17. Inner draw today, he'll be stalking the pace, and if there is a pace collapse, he could be one that could capitalise on that. Aidan McGuinness runner Is That Love is also worthy of a mention. He's still a maiden, but he's been threatening to get his head in front on a number of occasions, and he's taken all right to the poly track, and he's of interest stepping up to 7 furlongs today. That's where he showed his best form at Tipperary, and he didn't run too badly on 1 or 2 occasions otherwise. He tends to travel well into his races also. Can see him sitting 4th or 5th behind a pace. And there is one of the likely pacemakers going in, number 5, St. George's Head. And the last one looks to be Dynamite in stall 1. We get up to Peter for a wide open handicap where there's going to be a lot of pace on.
Market in play.
Stages. Close up. Is That Love?